Welcome to another episode Out of the Blank. Adam, comedy.
Oh my God.
Adam Nutter. Adam, the stand-up comedian. Adam, the man with no hands. Adam, the Bayou Babe.
Anyone who's seen me on the show before has they're not going to talk about comedy. That's not. We never have one time. We talk about politics all the time.
Let's see how long we can go before we bring in politics into the mix. Okay?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Stop, don't. Trigger words. Yeah. So comedy. Jokes. Tell me, you got any Laffy Taffy one-liners in your pocket?
Nope. Come pay to see me, bitches. I'm not the one-liner guy.
Okay.
I wish I was a one-liner. I wish I had more one-line jokes. Honestly, they're good to throw out and for sets, for transitions and segues. But I'm not really a one-liner guy.
I'm a spur of the moment type of joke. If it is going to be funny, it's got to be accidental, but in the spur of the moment. But I can't just sit there and craft one out. It just, I feel like when you force it, for some people that might work, but for me, it doesn't.
Well, it's not forcing. Writing a joke isn't forcing a joke, especially for stand-up. It's not this whole point is to write it to try to be for people to find it funny. So forcing would be if you try the joke 20 times in an audience and no one finds it funny ever, no one ever really gave it a laugh. And you're no, I think I could do it again for this time. It's then you're kind of forcing the joke because well, you have a good barometer of, a good test range group of it not working. So it's not going to probably work again unless you change the joke up. But if you're just saying the same fucking joke without changing anything and same words in the joke and it's never funny, then yeah, you're forcing a joke.
I just picture when someone's writing a joke or they're trying to test out a joke, I wonder if this is going to be funny. I want to try it on somebody. I wonder if they just order a bunch of Uber Eats until they get the right driver that laughs at the joke to know if they perfected it.
You're wasting $400 just to possibly get a chuckle.
$600 later. Sir, this is your 45th taco. What can I help you with? It's hey, I got this joke. Want to hear a joke?
It's so two guys walked into a barn and the guy's nah, man, I'm good. You're fuck. All right, hold on. I'll take 2 tacos. You order from
yeah. You'll get a tip. You'll get a tip if you sit and listen to me.
Yeah, man, comedy's wild. I took the whole month of November off, pretty much, except for this Saturday.
No comedy November?
Yeah, I said no, not November, because I'm not a fucking loser.
You need jokes in life, man. You can't just go without jokes.
I know, but I was just burnt out from traveling so much
that you couldn't crack a joke even when you're talking to yourself. You ever just do an impression?
No, I mean, I took off the month from doing comedy shows, not just making jokes.
I thought you just stopped being funny in your life. You had a switch that you turned off.
I'm just serious all the time. I'm hi sir. I say hi sir, how are you, everybody? I shake their hand firmly.
Start wearing a suit.
Yeah, I wear a suit. I just feel formal. I just took off. I just took off of shows for the month. I was fucking tired. It was my wife's birthday was last week. I'm sorry, 2 days ago. It was this past Saturday. My birthday's in 2 weeks. We have Thanksgiving's this month. I'm just so busy this month anyway. I was I just want to take off and just wind my brain down. But except for this Saturday, the 20th, we have our monthly show we run outside of Philly. That I'm not gonna not do that one, obviously, but everything else I just took a break.
Have you ever thought about taking a different path?
And I'm 35. What the fuck am I gonna do? I'm retarded.
I don't know. Get a career. Comedy's a career.
Comedy is a career.
I get so scared for you guys that are out there doing stand-up comedy because it's just I don't know what. There's going to be one of those times you get a beer thrown at you. I hear Joe Rogan talk about someone interrupting one of his jokes. I'm holy shit. The hell?
Yeah, but I gotta be honest with you, dude. As far as heckling goes in my career, I've been doing comedy 8-9 years. Okay. As far as heckling goes, I've never just been straight heckled.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
I heckle you all the time.
That doesn't count.
Tell a joke, funny man.
Doesn't count. You show me to my house at 3 a.m. doesn't count as a heckle. That counts as assault and stalking, I think.
Sir,
other crimes.
I'm just looking for a moist towelette.
I hate that word, moist. Ooh, I'm professional.
Everyone hates moist.
Yeah, it's a gross word.
It's going to be littered throughout my film. I'm going to have a scene where there's a mac and cheese bowl sitting on a table and a spoon just goes into it. So you just hear the perfect sound of a spoon. That's the best sound in the world. There's nothing that beats that.
Well, it could also sound like pussy too.
that what it sounds like?
It could.
I don't know.
Yeah, like a really wet fucking.
Yeah, but it echoes because it's open, so it's like voicing out to the
You
room.
fucking the Grand Canyon guy? What are you doing?
No, I'm not fucking the Grand Canyon. I would fuck the Grand Canyon too. Pick a spot in the world, and that's where you have to bang.
Ooh, so I get to bang any spot in the world.
Any spot you want. I want to be right in the middle of that lab.
See, there's a lot. I guess you could go a lot of ways with this, right? So Grand Canyon would be cool because like probably one of the biggest things you could fuck, right, on the planet.
There'd be coyotes.
Yeah, we're not fucking the coyote, you're just fucking the Grand Canyon.
I know, but coyotes don't care. They smell it like a bear.
Coyotes don't
smells
hurt
the
you. They're like
menstruation.
this fucking big. Just punch it in the face.
Bears smell the menstruation. You think a coyote doesn't smell the moistness?
You coyotes are fucking. They're like the rats of dogs.
They're kind of scary in a sense. I was pulling up to my work and I was in the parking lot and I saw this little fox. It wasn't a coyote, it was a little fox. And it just literally like looked like it had no tail, like it was scrunching its butt. And it was just skipping along the fucking road. And I was like, I'm not going to get out of my car right now. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes. That bitch goes way down the road.
Oh, it's because you're gay. But foxes are fine. They're cool. I saw a fox last night. They're up by me.
I don't trust the rabies factor.
Yeah, don't touch it, but like he's not gonna chase you.
If it comes up to me, you gotta pet it. That's a rule of thumb. Pet it. Anything. Yeah.
True, I agree with you.
An old person comes up, you give them a fucking salted caramel and you pet them on the head.
Yo, talking about animals, I was on a crazy Reddit rabbit hole at 3:30 in the morning last night.
Damn, this morning. I was up at like 1 watching Naruto. I don't know fucking why. I just got into it again. I blame Jason Lampro.
Jason. Anime is I never got into anime. But sorry? I do get into Reddit. And I was at a Reddit rabbit hole at 3:30 in the morning and I was reading people talk about experiences where they've heard animals speak before. And I was like, all right, here we go. And I read like 100 fucking stories of people talking about like they've heard animals talk. And I was like, if that's true, that would be the scare. Like I love animals. I love my dogs. I have 2 of them. Both my dogs are here right now. If one of them turns to me and says, can I go outside right now? I beat it to death with my bare hands.
Yeah.
You have to.
People don't want to hear their pet speak.
Yeah, you have to kill it.
If you want to hear your pet speak, you buy a parrot. But a lot of people like the idea of if their dog can talk. But imagine if your dog's a fucking asshole.
Not that, but imagine how scary it would sound. It wouldn't sound like us. It'd be like, I go outside, something horrifying. And you're like, oh, I don't kill you with fire. Because you're a demon. Like I can't, whatever you are can't exist in my life anymore. Like you just gotta go. But like I heard like crazy stories on Reddit. So one guy was saying he was living with his roommate and his roommate had this big husky, and he was showering, and the husky was just barking and barking and barking and barking and barking at the back door, and he was like, all right, fucking let me just let this dog out, I guess. So he says he gets out of the shower, and as he was like this toweling off, he says he swears up and down he was
toweling off,
which is a very lady from the 80s thing to say.
Drying off, like just fucking toweling off sounds like he's jacking off into his towel before he's like, I'm gonna do this before I let my dog out.
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair. Old man.
You're 35, man. So back in, like,
I know,
your
but
90s.
I'm beat up from sports.
What fucking sports?
Football and MMA, guy.
What? All right, put me in a triangle right now.
Okay.
Prove it.
But so the guy's like drying off, and then he says he swears to God he hears a dog just kind of like very loudly be like, please, I want to go outside. And then the guy was like, what the fuck? And he said he didn't see him say it because he was telling he said he heard it. He said, clear as we're talking right now. And then he said he slowly walked out back, and the dog just looked at him and kept barking. And he said he let him out, and then just sat there in shock. And I was like, I don't know, man. Sure, the guy could be lying and stuff, but like that's a fucking crazy story if true. Or even if he perceives it to be true, it's still a shocking thing to hear if you perceive it to be true. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have anything crazy that you've experienced that you just are afraid to tell people because they might consider you a nut job?
No, I've told all my crazy experiences and podcasts and stand-up before. Like,
thanks. I got an hour show to fill. Nice to.
I was drinking. Sorry.
Just take a sip mid fucking.
I have weed. I have weed mouth.
All right, Obama.
I have weed mouth. I got
a glass of water. Anybody got a glass? This isn't a joke. I need a glass of water.
I have weed mouth. I got to clear it out. Which one do you want? So I have like a glitch in the Matrix one. Then I have kind of like an alien one. and then I have like a creature one. Which one do you want to
I
hear?
want to hear the alien and the creature one. I don't really care about your too high. Actually, tell me a too high story.
It's like one of my bits that's really good. I can't tell it.
What?
I have it's a bit of my act
What are
that
you?
I don't want
What
to
are
ruin
you?
it.
Stand-up comic? What do you have bits?
Yeah, in fact, you guys, when you listen to this, November 20th at Chalfont, Pennsylvania.
It's gonna be afterwards, but okay.
Fuck.
Don't worry,
Oh,
we've
December
mastered
3rd,
time travel. Apparently,
4th, 17th, 20. I'm gonna do a lot of shows in December coming out.
December. We're in fucking November.
I know, but I already booked out.
I got a comedy show in March and June.
April 30th. Oh,
The
April
fuck you
30th.
out.
No, I'm serious. April 30th is my
This show is
first
done. This show is dead by then.
April 30th. It doesn't matter. People will be listening to this. April 30th is my first official headlining gig in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Happy birthday.
Come
Wow,
on
you're
out.
going to New Hampshire. What's the one state you know you're going to get jumped in?
Weirdly, I feel Alaska.
Well, Alaska is just a different place, man. They have like 14 hours or 16 hours of daylight there.
Yeah, I feel like it's crazy town up there.
Yeah.
Fuck that place. All right, so alien story. It's not that good, but it's funny that like my wife just doesn't believe anything I say. I was
She knows you.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I believe a lot of things you say, but you do hype it up a little bit for comedic effect, which I appreciate.
That's what I do. That's what I think. I pump it up. I was so I live in Newtown, Pennsylvania right now. New Hope, Pennsylvania is the town above me. It's like 15 minutes from my house, but it's
Lots
like
of Amish people.
No, that's out west. That's more west. That's like an hour and a half from me.
Why don't you move to where the Amish are? Don't you know they can sense water in the middle of an earthquake?
Do you need water in the middle of an earthquake?
Yes.
I think you need to take cover in the middle of an earthquake.
It's the best survival method is that if there's an earthquake, you go into the ocean because they can't touch you. You're in water.
Right.
Different
But
elements.
tsunamis, you know?
Well, tsunamis don't come with earthquakes. If you're in a
Yeah,
place where there's an
1000%
earthquake, if you're in a place where they have an earthquake and then a tsunami right afterwards, you need to fucking move.
Bro, that's all of tsunamis. What are you talking about?
I don't think that's true.
Yeah. Are you doing a bit right now?
Should I talk to the Google?
Pull up the Indonesian tsunami. What triggered it? Right now. What triggered the Indonesian tsunami?
I'm fucking going. I'm not Jamie. Give me a minute. Jesus. Fucking
all tsunamis are triggered by earthquakes.
Funny and impatient. What a piece of shit. You said tsunamis and what?
Say what triggered a tsunami?
Tsunami. What causes it? What causes tsunamis? Most tsunamis oh fuck are caused by earthquakes on converging tectonic plate boundaries.
However,
tsunamis can also be caused by landslides, volcanic activity, certain types of weather, and possibly near Earth objects such as asteroids and comets colliding or exploding.
But mainly earthquakes, like I said. So usually if there's an earthquake by the ocean, the biggest fear is a tsunami. Like that's literally always the talk about a tsunami and the fear
I'm
of
not afraid of water. I can swim.
Yeah, just jump over it.
Yeah.
Pussies.
Or dive below the wave.
Yeah, just keep doing that infinitely until it subsides. All right, alien story. So I live in Newtown. New Hope's right above me, but it's kind of a woodsy drive through, like between towns. And I'm driving home from a gig one night. It's like 2 a.m. And I see like this orangey ball of light like right above the tree line.
It's a Dragon Ball. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. They said you didn't watch anime.
That was Rocky.
That was Dragon Ball Z.
You went na 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 na. That's Rocky.
No, it's Dragon Ball.
That's Rocky.
Dragon Ball uses it.
Well, they stole from Rocky then.
I think Balboa stole from them.
Yes, the movie from 1977 or one, wherever the fuck it came out. 77. I think.
He's gonna show you.
You were doing the Rocky theme.
He's gonna help you find the way.
That's Rocky.
Okay.
Anyway, orange ball light right above the tree line, like hovering very sporadically and very quickly, just literally right above the tree line.
Fast pace.
And then it just fucking bolted off into the sky and was gone. And I was like, that was fucking weird. And then I got home and like I was kind of just like what the fuck was that? Like out loud, kind of thinking about it. And then I kind of woke my wife up by accident, and she's like, "What's up?" And I was like, "I think I just saw like an alien or something like that." And she's like, "No, you didn't." And I just went back to sleep. I was like, "Okay, I guess I did." Like,
sounds like a healthy relationship. Holy shit. Yeah. What about your creature story?
Okay, so oddly enough, where we do the monthly show in Chalfont, it's a place called the Pop Inn, a really cool bar restaurant, and it's like a residential area, it's like a blue collar town, and like we're all outside smoking, like 4 or 5 or 6 houses down. I just happen to look to my left, and there's like this what I thought was like this kind of weird shaped cat just sitting on this guy's lawn. And it was like it was like the size of like a big fat cat, kind of like a really big cat. Like think of a really large cat, like not Garfield? Like a lion. I mean like a really large domestic house cat. Yeah, like a fat Garfield. Yeah, like a fat Garfield. But it was like his fur was like all silvery. Like really dark silver though, I think, because it was dark out, but it looked like a dark silver. Or like a dark gray, and it was like close fur, like a dachshund almost. It wasn't like wily or wiry.
You're lucky I know my fucking pet breeds. Good God.
The hot dog dogs, the wiener dogs, or everybody out there who's not
Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, the Oscar Mayer dogs. They had kind of like that, but his tail looked like the tail of like a white-tailed deer. It wasn't like a long tail like a cat or anything like that. It was like a white-tailed deer tail. It even had like white underneath the bottom of the tail. It was weird. And then its legs, like its front 2 legs were like longer and narrower than its back hind legs, if that makes sense.
Nope.
I can just tell by the way it's sitting. It was like perched up. It looked like it looked like a gargoyle sitting on a perch, but it was sitting on the ground though. But it was like that same kind of position.
I'm just distracted because you got really dark in my video.
I did?
Yeah, like your light from something went off.
No, I think it's just the natural lights keep shade. It's just shifting.
Okay.
That's on my house. And then I looked up to its head, and this is a very niche reference, but if you guys don't understand it, you gotta look it up. Do you remember the
Muffin Man? Na 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 na.
Muffin Man.
Na 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 na. That was Jingle Bells.
I know. Do you remember the Mousers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Remember the Mousers from Dr. Baxter?
Yeah.
No, they're like that. They had that weird head shape.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like that. The head shape of its head was kind of like that. And then it just took like 2 large like leaps and went behind the house. It was gone. And then no one believed me when I pointed. I was like, "Hey, do you guys see that?" And everyone was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, it was a fucking thing." And I explained it, and they're like, "Nah, you didn't. It was a cat." I'm like, what's a cat? Know what a fucking cat looks like.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever asked you this question before, but what is your craziest dream?
I don't dream anymore because I smoke too much weed, and weed inhibits it stops dreams.
I thought I asked you that question already. Damn it.
But when I was a kid, I could tell you my most realistic scary dream, and it was not going to be scary to anybody else because it's personal. But like it's
good. Get to that, and we're gonna talk some other stuff.
All right. So I had the dream when I was a kid, and me and my dad are very close, and we were always very close. So in the dream, I guess I walked into the room and I saw my dad, and I was like, "Oh hey," and I went to give him a hug, and he just like shot up off his chair and went like, "Ew, I don't want to hug you." And then like his face turned into like this devil character, and I fucking woke up in like a fucking horrifying panic, and like that stuck with me forever. I know it's fucking lame, but that was like my scariest because it felt so fucking real at the time. It still does. It's still weird to me.
Not lame. I had a weird dream last night. I was in this like it looked like a city, but like a small scale city. Like the buildings, it kind of looked like a grocery store. Like the aisles were packed like that, but they were like, instead of like aisles, it was just skyscrapers. So you're like,
Okay.
I'm going all the way, like running around, and it seemed like the whole entire, it was like a flat earth. It was in a circle. Like, so you're just going around in circles, but there's just buildings and lines and roads. And I'm running around doing all this stuff. And there's just posters everywhere of like, vote for this person, vote for this person, vote for this person. And then people were ripping down other people's posters and putting up their team's posters. And it was this whole entire thing, an event. And the next thing I know, I was shot in the back of the head. And then I woke up.
Well, that goes. If anything, that goes to show you like the political climate we're in, and like what you're
Yeah.
thinking about all the
Well,
time.
I was just letting you know we're heading into the politics now.
No shit.
We made it like 30 minutes. We're good. I wanted to show you this interview with Kerry Mullis. I don't know if you know who Kerry Mullis is, but he's the guy who invented the PCR test. In 1993, there was an interview of him talking about like Anthony Fauci and all these people. And the interview is like 2 hours long. It's scrubbed off YouTube. You can't find it on YouTube.
Of course.
It's scrubbed off most platforms. I have to look for it real quick through the fucking link. Because people had to keep reposting it, but it's just a 2 hour interview. I wonder if they put it back up on. He died right before the pandemic, which is eerie. But hold on, I'm looking for it. But he gives a statement about Fauci and a lot of the people that are kind of going through the ringer, I would say now, are kind of showing that they had ties with other people. Are you still there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So you were being
no, I was answering a text from the wife. I'm listening to you.
Because I can't see because I'm scrolling through Twitter trying to find this fucking. Where is it, Johnny? I want the full interview. It's 2 hours long. We're not watching it all, but we could. We could. Here it is. And I got to share the screen. Share screen. Sharing. Full view.
Humanity that it wants to go to all the details and stuff and listen. You know, these guys like Fauci get up there and start talking. You know, he doesn't know anything really about anything, and I'd say that to his face. Nothing. The man thinks you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you'll know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine, and he should not be in a position like he's in. Most of those guys up there on the top are just total administrative people, and they don't know anything about what's going on the bottom. You know, those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have, being that we pay for them to take care of our health in some way. They've got a personal kind of agenda. They make up their own rules as they go. They change them when they want to, and they smugly, like Tony Fauci, does not mind going on television in front of the people that pay his salary and lie directly into the camera. What is?
So this was in 1993. He died. Why is Alex Jones trending on Twitter?
Oh, because he lost the suit to the parents of Sandy Hook.
I thought that was old. I thought he already lost.
No, I think he just officially like law. I think. Yeah. So unfortunately, everything that Kerry Mullis has said is like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, but you said this in '93, so this is
no, of course, but it's like unfortunately we've always known this bullshit. Like, dude, that's what I'm saying. If you, man, it's like,
well, no, there's a large amount of people that sit there and dismiss the lab theory that came out, and then the NIH.
This is what I was just gonna say.
I could pull that up too. So
this is the path I was gonna go down. I'm with you. So I was just gonna say, and like, I hate to be this guy because it comes off as such a condescending fucking cock, but like. Also, it's just, yes, if you really, truly believe this narrative, you're fucking retarded. I'm sorry. You just are. If you truly believe government tells you the truth, you're fucking retarded. If you truly believe that all this fucking, again, I'm not saying this virus is fake. Never said that. I'm saying everything that came with it is fucking bullshit. Everything. Literally everything. And it's been like this forever. This is coming from the same world government, the same government that led us into a 20-year war with the fucking Iraq and Afghanistan, man. Like, I tweeted that out before. I was like, because the Taliban was just doing a show of force parade with all of our shit in Kabul. You're doing like a fucking like Russian parade style thing.
Do you stand with like what Ben Shapiro says, where he says that maybe they did that so there would be a reason to go back when they realized that they weren't going to change, that it would just incite or incentivize us to go back there because we kind of pulled out all we needed to from them? Like it was very sketchy, the lines that Biden was kind of, pulling out all because he said, oh, we're going to pull out on 9/11. That's what it seemed like, but it seemed kind of like more like our deal was already done with them. Like we already kind of did what we had to and we got what we needed from them. And then we were just going to leave. Like nobody really cared about the people there. They were more about just pulling out for looks.
So here's my take on, if we're just talking about the whole leaving, Biden will go down as one of the worst American presidents in history, for sure. He already is one of the worst, but he'll go down as officially one of the worst ever. Woodrow Wilson's the worst, but Biden will be a top five probably. And that being said, him actually getting us out of there, I'll give him credit for. I don't care what the fuck goes on there. I do not. I care about America and America's interests. I do not give a fuck about Afghanistan. We can't even take
care of ourselves.
I do not give a fuck about Iraq. I do not give a fuck about the Middle East. I do not give a fuck about Asia. I do not give a fuck about Europe. I do not give a fuck about Australia or the South America. I do not give a fuck about any of those places. I care about us and only us. Truly.
Well, it's crazy to think that, like, I don't know if it's just America or all the people that are involved here that are running high corporations that are able to kind of like trick the simulation a little bit. And my theory is like that. I don't know if you saw any of the UFO stuff with NASA where they were talking about UAPs and all that, but they're making a lot of statements, and I start picturing, like, imagine if one of these NASA used to be the only space program in the United States, like the main one that everyone would think about. You got put on shirts and stuff like that. Then our billionaires started going into outer space. Now I'm wondering whether they're going to team up with one of these billionaires to like, hey, help us design up there so we can still be the face of space technology, not you, the billionaire. Or they're going to be like, we'll fund you. We'll give you all the supplies you need to create the rockets and your designs. And then when it goes bad, it's your fault, not the government's fault. I'm trying to find the oil slick deal because
I think I'll tell you, and this is where 100% I think it leads. I think you're crazy if you think Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos just on their own was like, we're going to go to space.
Yeah.
Like if you don't think that they are 100% working with the federal government.
Well, did you see Avi Loeb, the main astrophysicist who spoke recently, and what he said? He's sitting in an open interview type like thing. It looks like he's in a cathedral. It's all echoey and shit. And they're sitting there. He goes, "We know that there's artificial life. We know they've created clones. We know they do this. This is normal stuff. So let's send those things into space. Let's save people. Less risk when we have artificial intelligence. Our robot children go up into outer space. We've made clones. We know with the sheep. There's been many other clones after that." He said it's so normal, and everyone's like, yep, and nodding their head like, yeah, we agree. Most of the public didn't know that was still going on because most people think that when the government does something and it works, they just stop doing it. Like when they cloned the first goat. Oh, we never did that again. They 100% did that again. And they're still doing this type of stuff, and nobody cares about that.
There's a South Korean company that will clone your dog for like 300 grand.
Well, they'll do it here for 10,000.
In America?
Yeah. People do that. They get their dog cells, some of their blood injected into an embryo of another dog of the same breed, and it basically recreates the same exact dog. So if you had a dog with blue eyes, with one blue eye and one green eye, you get that same thing without it being a rarity, and looking for a puppy that has that same thing. It'll have the same characteristics, same personality traits, just won't have any memory.
Well, right. That's what a clone. You can't. I mean, as far as we know, you can't replicate consciousness, but who the fuck knows, right? But like,
well, I've talked to some government people recently on this show. One person that studies like UFO secrecy type stuff and works like high up in the military. I don't know. He read me off his whole entire characteristics of like, everything that he was included in, but he started talking about like the idea of future people. And he goes, yeah, there's a theory out there called like future dimensional theory, which is that people from the future are able to come back to the past, but they can never go back forward to the future. You have to live out your life. And he talks about like this government tech that's out there that might be UAPs, UFOs. I've been diving super into this just because there's so much shit. I think he sent me a chart of it too. Let's see if I can send it to my email real quick and be able to pull it up. Actually, I could just pull it up on my Twitter. But it's weird, dude. And I don't know, because what I think this is I think that the government's talking about all this stuff now is because they want funding. They want to put you in fear to do this. And that's how I'm looking at it,
Oh,
because
see,
I don't
they
trust
want
them
to
as
put
far
you
as I
in
can throw
fear,
them.
but it's not for funding.
Well, here's the thing is that if there's a real national
They
security
don't,
threat, like, hold on,
Robbie,
Adam,
they don't need, they don't,
Adam, if there's a real national security threat like they're talking about, then they would have hyped this up bigger and been like, everyone's going to die. Why didn't they do that with the UFO stuff? But they sure as hell did it with the fucking pandemic, making it seem like every third person you meet is going to be fucking dead.
I'll tell you. So it's the Watchmen theory, dude. It's the Watchmen theory. What are we looking at?
I'll show you this. If I can get it pulled up. So this is what he sent me. So the origins of UAP. There's interdimensional, IDH, physical nut and bolts, prosaic, mental, other, and extra dimensional. So there's all this shit I didn't know was incorporated with this. But mental is like you have a psychological bend to you. You might have some type of,
like
mess up
ESP
in your
shit. I
head.
got it.
But interdimensional, there's parallel universe, time travel, colliding universe, hyperspace, future, past, alternate timeline, unidentified flying objects by Michael Masters, A New World by, and there's just these books that lead into these types of things. I can send you this.
So here's the thing with time travel that I always like. I always hear the theory that you can never go back in time, but you could potentially go to only to the future, because
no, you can go back in time. You can never go to the future.
Well, listen to what I'm saying. So, like, I heard the reason you can never go back, but only to the future, is because to go back, you would need the tech there to go back to. But the future, there would be the tech already. So there's also the positioning of space is different.
Well, the guy who created the idea of time travel spent his whole entire life trying to research it. He talks about how he was trying to, his dad died when he was like 13 years old. He's some scientist. He was trying to go back to before his dad died and tell him that he has this certain disease that they could cure, and then this type of thing. But then he realized that, you can't go back before the time machine was created.
That's what I'm saying.
The main theory with the alien type stuff, or the future dimensional stuff and the government stuff he was talking about, is that when this guy Bill Nelson gets on the NASA thing, starts speaking about other tech or these types of things, there's outer tech, which is from another planet, that there's tech that we have now that's been modified from other types of like future or outer world stuff, and then there's the future tech. I don't know, but dude, it's fucking a deep rabbit hole where I start looking at it like, and one of the main sites, the Black Vault website that released like the CIA files when they were going to do that open unreleased document thing, that site that first had that and gave it to everyone, they put a Freedom of Information Act recently, and the government just denied it. And I'm like, that's what I'm fucking talking about. You think that they want to fucking give you these things because you ask? They don't give a shit, man. They'll do whatever they want.
Exactly.
People are starting to see that the government is not what it has been sales pitched as. The government is
not enough people, though. That's the problem.
Well, there's a certain vocal few that I would say on the progressive side, and
yeah, they suck. They suck for sure. But
they just don't acknowledge like all the dirty shit. Like they're the ones voting for fucking the other guy against Youngkin and all this type of stuff, even though they've seen the fucking display of racism that has happened with the fake.
Oh, dude, Democrats are the most racist people on the planet. That's a whole different story, though.
It's so backwards. Like,
yeah, they're one of the most racist pieces of shit I know. Mostly. I'm the progressives, not Democrats. I shouldn't say Democrats. I mean progressives. They're fucking garbage. Honestly, like I'm also done mincing words. Because like this is like a legitimate cultural battle for like the fabric of who we are as a country, and I'm sick of like trying to take the higher road than these dummies, and being like, no, I gotta try to hit them with logic and reason. It's like, no, fuck them. They're fucking garbage. If you consider yourself a fucking super progressive person, you're fucking trash and you're a commie. Get the fuck out of my face, dude. Like I don't care what you think. I don't value your opinion. I really don't. I don't. You have nothing of value to add.
I value anybody's opinion as long as it doesn't devalue someone else's. And sadly, I don't see any party that's doing that properly. Every party has their own opinions, and they're really not open to understanding other people's.
I'm open to opinions if they're not destroying what we are as a country.
Free welfare.
Yeah, nothing's free. So that's bullshit.
I want free healthcare. I want the government to supply my healthcare.
Nothing's free.
I've used your reference multiple times where you're like, okay, well then if something fucks up and you try and sue them, they're like, well, we gave it to you for free. I'm like, oh, that's a good fucking point. Mm-hmm. I want my own boat.
I also told you the Canada thing, right?
What Canada thing?
the like, dumb Americans here will be like, Canada has free health care. Why can't we? Go ask a Canadian where they go to get real health care.
You told me that.
Right, America.
Well, it's weird. Did you see, like, people don't know about these articles. I think Ben Shapiro was bringing it up when he talked about, like, the wage gap thing.
It's not. There is no wage gap. That's
the way that they estimate that is that they're taking a teacher job and then they're also taking an engineering job, and engineers get paid more than teachers do, sadly, in this country.
That's not even what they're really. So the real conflation is they don't tell a full truth. So and I'm not saying this is right or wrong. This is how we are societal wise. Most men and women, when they get married and have kids, usually the men keep going to work and the women stay home to raise the family, which is nothing wrong with that. That's the fucking disparity, a lot of it right there. So like men keep pursuing their careers because women stay home with the kids. So like there's a pay gap. Like, no, there's not. Women leave their field to take care of families, which that's, again, very respectable and should be done.
Yeah.
But like, that's the fucking bullshit right there. Also, well, they never ask and they study the fields of like employment. So like, why are there more male doctors than male nurses? Well, it turns out that women have more compassionate, as a whole, right? As I'm broad brushing here, women are more compassionate than men. Nursing is a more compassionate field than doctor is. It just is. So women tend to lean towards nursing because they feel like they do better at it, and they do. And more men are like, oh, doctor's just more robotic, and men are more robotic. So like, oh, this is like a fucking problem I got to handle. So like, oh, doctors' bedside manner is shit. And that's why a lot of nurses' bedside manner is good, right? Because women are better nurturers and compassionate. But no one wants to talk about that shit. Why are there more female teachers than male teachers? Same reason.
Why, when a female teacher bangs a male student, it's disgusting.
Awesome.
Yeah, but people usually gets high fives. But
Yeah.
when a male teacher bangs a female student that's way young, it's a different impact.
I agree.
I can sit here and pull up the court case thing of all the people, like, where you can predict who's going to fucking jail.
Oh, no,
if
Robbie,
it's a hot chick that bangs a student, you're like, oh, she's just getting a tap on the wrist or something.
No, listen, that's a double standard that I happen to agree with. Like, I don't think it's that big of a. I don't agree. I don't like. I agree with it. If you're an adult, you bang a kid, like it's fucked up. I'm just saying, like, I think if you're a 17-year-old, 16-year-old kid and you bang a 22-year-old teacher, you're not going to get fucked up from it. You're just not.
The issue is it's not 22-year-olds. It's like 28 years old. And then you can enter the George Takei stance, where George Takei actually said that he was happy that happened to him. Because
he's also a fucking piece of shit, George Takei. He doesn't know what it is.
He kind of has the same stance as who's that one guy?
He's a dumb lefty. I don't care what George Takei says. He's a fucking retarded progressive idiot. Who cares?
You can't say that word.
I can't. I say it all the time on my shows.
No, you can't. You can't say the word progressive. I don't know who that guy is. Damn it, what's his name? He was married to a black guy. I forgot what his name is. He got a lot of shit for the things that Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh yeah, Milo. Yeah, well, he's a troll, and he's a funny troll, and people just take him seriously.
Well, he said he was wanting it, and then that he deserved it or something like that when he was molested, and then a bunch of people lost their shit on him, and they somehow canceled him off society.
That's bullshit. So he was he was just talking about his personal experience. He never once said ever that should be normalized.
People are taking Aaron Rodgers stuff out of context and Joe Rogan stuff. I mean, they fucking weaponized Sesame Street. They SNL just did a skit about it.
Dude, it was so. Oh, I tweeted. It was so bad. It was so bad.
SNL's always been bad.
I know, but this is really bad. But this is what's funny too about, again, these dumb woke progressive lefties. They're like, Joe Rogan. What are you, Dr. Joe Rogan? But go listen to Big Bird.
Well, that's a real fear, though, is that kids are like, parents actually have to watch what their kids are watching now, because this is like propaganda for your children.
No, it is propaganda. Like, dude, I'm telling you, this woke progressive slope in media and kid shit, it's real, dude. And like, people are like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's real, and it's fucking evil. Like, it's fucking evil. Like, it just is.
We're in a strange time where Ted Cruz is battling Big Bird on fucking line, man. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
I know it's Oh, for all the parents out there, homeschool your kids, or at least put them in private school.
That's a lot of people pushing for that right now.
Yeah, public school is legitimate prison for children, and it's legitimate evil. It's a legitimate evil government. I'm looking around the camera for this. It's a legitimate evil government weapon. Pull your fucking kids. It's fucking evil. Public schools are absolute dog shit, indoctrination, bullshit, garbage. Pull your fucking kids if you can. I understand everyone can't have the money for private schools. I'm not even saying private and Catholic schools great, but they're better, way better, way fucking better. Homeschooling is the best. Fuck these teaching CRT. You're teaching commie bullshit in America to our American children.
Well, we're in a weird place in the world where people care more about Aaron Rodgers taking something to stop getting COVID, but nobody will talk about the fucking Raiders linebacker, whoever that fucking ran somebody.
I said
over.
that. I said the NFL cared more about Aaron Rodgers' COVID test than Henry Ruggs burning a woman alive in her dog in her car. Essentially, is what happened.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that wasn't a big of a deal. That guy talked about less. Who would have thought Henry Ruggs murdering a woman and her dog was like, woof? Good thing Aaron Rodgers lied about COVID the same week I killed somebody.
Is there a turnaround from all this? Or are we just headed to like a deep state part type thing?
So
where there's going to be a divide?
There's only two ways out of this. Complete mass non-compliance, right? Where you have to have more of the country wake up and turn the fuck around. Or, and people don't like to hear this, but bang, 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 bang. That way it gets us out of it too.
I don't know if I agree with either of those decisions. I do find it's just, I think you need to start questioning things when
that's mass non-compliance though.
Well, there's a lot of people that are like so refusing Biden's. Like, I know this one dude that I saw one of my episodes and commented on something like, how could he tell this and this and this? And then I click on his profile. He's got like 100,000 something followers. And all he does is tweet about Biden is my president. Biden is this, and then puts up a random picture of his kid or something like that. And I'm looking at him like, but he's like, people are commenting like, he's like stuttering, right? But then you see every single person that follows him agrees with his narrative.
Yeah, well, that's just like called propaganda.
Yeah, but that's the weird part is like, I don't know if this is like bots, because there were a lot of people when Tim Pool made his rant. There was a lot of people that commented on Tim Pool's rant and was like, this is anti-Semitic. Tim Pool goes off, and I click on it, and everyone's like, where's the fucking anti-Semitism? There's none of it. There was nothing. It was like a clickbait fucking article.
Would
you just get an emergency text?
No, I think my card just finally arrived.
Congratulations. Overseas.
Sorry, this is like a year-long saga for fucking me out of my new Bronco.
Was it an overseas endeavor? Did you get it
shipped
from China?
I don't know where it's shipped from. Apparently,
you open up your car and a bunch of bats just come out. Fuck.
He's calling me right now. God damn it.
You want to pause it?
Yeah, can we? I'm sorry.
I don't know where I was now.
Oh, sorry. Fuck, me too. I forgot. I got so excited about the car.
You can talk about your Bronco if you want.
No.
The White House just denied the release of the Jan 6 files.
Oh, that whole thing. Oh my God. What a joke.
This whole thing's a joke.
The whole fucking thing's a joke. Like,
I really love
ridiculous.
it how fucking Australia, their Sky News Australia is the one now commentating on all of our fucking news and like, what is Biden saying? And it's just like, nobody knows what he's saying, but don't fucking try and put the blame on us after a month of everybody looking at your shit going down over there. You fucking.
Oh, dude, they went straight Orwellian in 1984.
Yeah.
They turned straight.
I love Australia, but I'm so shocked at how many people are just accepting and going into these camps willingly. Like you try that over here, see what hashtag trends the fastest. Well, it's going to be Holocaust.
I talked to an Australian dude and I read a very interesting thread also about, because I said, hey man, why the fuck aren't you guys fighting back? Right. I'm like, what? And I'm like, I know they don't have guns really down there because of the 90s thing. So I understand that's an issue. But I'm like, why are you way more of you than there are cops down there? So like, why not just fight back? And the guy was like, listen, he's like, you're looking at this from an American lens. He told me, right? He's like, you guys were born from revolution, like legitimately born from revolution. Like all you really know as a country is fighting for what you want and rights. He goes, look at where we came from. He's like, we were a penal colony from England, right? When we were granted like freedom and shit like that from not being a penal colony anymore, everything was given to us by the crown and the government. everything, our rights, literally like land, buildings, work, everything was through government. 1901, they became a country, I think. Like that was through the English government and the crown. All they know is authority in government. So they like kind of weirdly like just go, okay, like they accept it. They don't have that fighting spirit in them like we do. That's what he told me. And it made sense.
Maybe because they're just not as oppressed as we are.
No, I think it's what he said made sense to me. Like they just don't have that like, no, hold on, fuck you. Like you don't tell me what to do. Like
well, you think they would if they were a pianist colony.
A pianist colony. They all play piano.
I can't say it properly. I have a stutter, you ass. There are a few words in my vocabulary.
Fucking Bach and Beethoven were down in Australia.
What is it? Pianist?
Penal.
Penis.
A penile would be
perpendicular
a
penal penis.
A penile colony would be a penis colony.
Yeah, a nude colony.
Yeah.
I think it'll get to that point. We'll have people that are doing nude colonies all over the place. I think it's going to get to a point where I don't know what's going to happen. I think something big's going to happen. I just don't know what that's going to be. If it's going to be total isolation or it's going to be like there's a thing in Austria right now that kids under the age of 12 who aren't getting the vaccine are going to be locked inside of their house only to go for a walk, only to go get food, and only to go get basic necessities. But that means school you don't get to go to. That means going out and hanging out with friends you don't get to do. It's just restricted to the limits. And I'm like, I can see that coming here.
Well, I don't know if you also saw in Austria, they also just started mass protesting that, and no one listened to it.
Yeah, I think people have a lot of power, but sadly, I think that there's a large amount of people that are willing to accept the fear narrative that the government perpetuates over here. And that is stay inside your home or you're going to kill everyone that you love. And they will scare the living shit out of you. And then the people that don't fall in line will be the ones that'll be shown and put on bread and circus, basically.
Calling me twice. I gotta
tell them to fuck off.
God damn it.
Have them on air. Talk to them on air. I'm keeping it going.
What's up, Brandon? Sorry.
Hey, no, you're good. Okay, so the manager that's on that deal, he can't change anything till tomorrow morning.
All right, no worries.
So
can't hear it.
Let you know, 8:30 when we come in tomorrow morning, we'll get right on it. That way we can let you know the difference and how much more you have to bring. So, because I don't remember, you were doing a personal check or a bank check?
No, I'm just going to do a check. So it doesn't really matter.
Personal check?
Yeah.
Read the routing numbers.
So we'll work on it in the morning, and we'll call you well in advance tomorrow morning, let you know the final numbers. He said it would have to be 3 years. They don't do 2 years.
That's okay. That's what I thought. That's fine.
So we can do 36 months, and we'll rework everything, and I'll let you know this tomorrow morning.
All right, cool, man. I'm super excited.
I'm excited for you. Take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah, no, psyched. Thanks.
All right, man.
All right, man.
If you need to change the time, just let me know.
No, one should be great.
Awesome. All right, see you tomorrow.
All right, later.
We're at 1,000 goddamn episodes almost, and you're fucking doing this shit. It's so
sorry.
Unprofessional.
I'm sorry. You don't understand the saga Ford has put me through for a fucking year of my car, dude.
Tell me your weed story.
My weed story?
You said it was your bit. Tell me it.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. You just put me through
best,
that.
one of my best jokes.
You gotta fix my show. Fix it.
I gave good content. I told you to pause it. I'll tell you the Ford saga story.
All right.
So I ordered the Bronco a year ago. Okay.
No, I'm not fucking settling. Tell me the weed story.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
You got other bits.
I'll tell you the time I accidentally did acid when I was already on mushrooms.
That's a good story.
All right. I was clean. By the way, this is the bit I do too. So fuck you for making me tell it. I was gonna clean my whole house because my wife asked me to. And I was like, oh, it'd be fun to do on mushrooms because I don't want to clean. So I took mushrooms and I started cleaning. And then I went to my little drug drawer I have back over here in that vicinity. And I just saw this piece of paper in the corner. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what the fuck is this paper? And I was like rubbing it and shit. And I was like smelling it. I was like, what the fuck is the paper? And I was like, I don't know. And I turned it, I turned it around and I realized it was acid tabs. And I was sweating from cleaning and I was rubbing it. So what I did was I accidentally took like 8 hits of acid like through my skin. I was holding it and sweating. So it just absorbed it. And I was like, oh, well, I'm on this ride now. And then I was like, I might as well just clean my bathroom. I'll start there. And everything was squiggly. Like everything was squiggly. If I talked in the mirror, it was like a dubbed Godzilla movie. Like everything was delayed.
I don't know. I couldn't even put
So
that
like
in a
imagine
box.
you look in the mirror and you're talking and you know you're talking. You hear yourself talking, but the mirror back to you is like the mouth movements aren't matching what you're saying.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, that's how a mirror works.
It's very fucking creepy though. It's almost like you're looking at like a different dimension. Like an alternate you.
Did you try and stick your hand in there?
No, but I started like cleaning like the glass doors for the shower, and then when you're like fucked up on like a bunch of hallucinogens like that, like you start to want to throw up, and like your system wants to throw it up because it's like poison. So I was like, here it comes, and I just turned to the toilet and I just throw up in the toilet, and it's this gross. Oh god, I'm gagging thinking about it. This gross like brown, disgusting fucking mess. Yeah, no, it won't get me. This is my own thought will get me, and
I can hear the fucking upchuck of the fucking your stomach.
The other thing about being on acid or mushrooms or whatever, like you go in and out of like remembering and forgetting. No, remembering and forgetting you're on drugs. So like there's parts of you like, Jesus Christ, this fucking mushrooms are like killing me.
It's like all the time I got really high when I smoked hash. I was always in a fucking another dimension.
Okay, yeah, another dimension, but it's like you forget you're on mushrooms at one point. And you just think like everything's normal. And you're like, then you see like a fucking elephant, you're like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, you forget. So I threw up and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, this is rough. And then like, I was rubbing my eyes and like a minute goes by and I look over at the toilet and I thought my vomit puddle was a portal. Like into the world.
In the vomit.
And I was like, oh, I should explore the portal.
Logical thinking.
And I stuck my whole arm in there.
Oh my god.
Oh, not my whole. I mean, as much far as I could. I got to here, you know. And then midway through, I was like, I'm on fucking acid. I had to pull my arm out and like clean it off. And then I forgot I was on acid again. I did it again.
Jesus.
I did that for like 12 hours. Not stick my arm into 12 hours, but I was like tripping for like 12, 14 hours, something like that.
I have a mirror in my bathroom that's next to another mirror next to the main mirror. So if you look into it, it looks like there's a million of you and it looks like you're in a subway. So I just pop my head around the corner like this and it looks like I'm looking down a subway waiting for the train and there's just a million of me waiting for the train.
Yo, there's a creepy thing apparently where people are like big believers in like mirrors or like there's something paranormal about mirrors. That's like a big belief people have. Like they're very superstitious, right?
Can't break it.
And apparently like if you look into a mirror, like look in your own eyes in a mirror and say like, I am me, you are not me. I won't do it because it creeps me out. But like apparently it's very trippy.
I don't know. Imagine if it just like slapped you.
Or just like my biggest fear is like you're looking and you say that and then like your reflection just smirks back at you or tilts your head. And you're like that would be creepier than a slap.
It's kind of like a Rick and Morty sketch.
Kind of. But like it's weird. I don't know. I read that last night too in a rabbit hole. I was like, I ain't never doing that shit.
I got into a rabbit hole of they were talking about a way that people can become bulletproof, and there's two methods. One, they either make your skin really heavy and really solid, like steel, to where a bullet would just deflect right off of you. Or two, they make this coating that they're using where your skin is kind of like gel, and the bullet would just like. It's like when you see the bullet videos where someone shoots a gun and it goes into like a piece of plastic and then it just wraps around the bullet. That's exactly what they talk about with your skin, that they can change the molecular compound of your skin. So if a bullet hits you, it would either be so hard or so heavy that the density of it would just
but then you would be so heavy.
Yeah, that's
like
the
400
thing.
Pounds.
So you would have to choose whether you want to be like super heavy or you have to, but you would look thin. You would just be, you'd weigh a lot. So that means if you punch shit, you would break it.
I don't think the science backs up that part at all. Because then you'd have to.
They're talking about changing your molecular compound. What fucking
but then you
science?
would have to. But they would have to change your also bone density and bone and muscular structure. You can't.
I think if you change the molecular
160
compound
pounds, you or me, cannot hold 400-pound skin. That's crazy. We'll fucking collapse under our own weight.
I don't think that.
Yes.
No, I can hold 160 pounds. I squat 250.
It's different.
Okay.
It's not the same thing. It's all the same thing.
It's kind of like,
I think what's that goo called? Like oblong. It's like oh man. Goobek. It's a weird name for this weird. They use it on Mythbusters a bunch of times. It's this very weird consistency makeup where if you hit it hard, it's fucking solid. But it's like a fucking liquid otherwise. It is wild.
is it the stuff that they make like body things out of so you
No,
can shoot it?
no, it's not that. It's not ballistic gel. No. It's like it's like a weird name goo. It's like og goo or something. I gotta look it up.
Would you rather
It's
be
fucking
bulletproof
crazy.
or would you rather be on a permanent acid trip?
I'd rather be bulletproof.
But imagine the acid trip. When you enter the acid trip, you can time travel.
I'd rather be bulletproof.
But then you have to question if you're really time traveling or
Yeah,
if it's just
bulletproof
your
all day.
acid trip.
Bulletproof. Hold on.
Imagine you're in your backyard, like you're looking like you're Velma from Scooby-Doo looking for your glasses, but you think you're time traveling. I can't
Oobleck.
stand up.
It's
during
oobleck.
Oobleck.
It's oobleck. It's a non-Newtonian fluid. So it has both liquid and solid properties. So if you put your hand into it, right, it's like liquid. But if you punch it, it's like a solid. Look it up. Pull it up. It's fucking crazy.
I believe you.
Oobleck. I'm saying if you want to look it up in your own time, it's fucking crazy.
I'll look it up in my free time.
It's wild.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't know what to say now because I had a really good rant about fucking Velma looking for her glasses. Would be you in an acid trip, but would you really time travel, or are you going to you think that you're time traveling, but you're really not. So you're in your backyard like a loon.
Yeah, probably that. So wouldn't you rather be bulletproof? For sure, because then you know you can't get shot.
But imagine if you know that you can time travel, but maybe you
don't
actually
know if you can time travel.
Maybe you actually do. It's kind of like the movie. Remember the movie Mystery Men?
Yeah, of course I do.
Where the fucking dude's like, I can only be invisible if nobody's looking at me.
Fucking, that was Kel.
Oh yeah, Keenan and Kel.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is like it's risk analysis, right? So 50-50 on the time travel, but 100% on the bulletproof. So bulletproof.
50-50 on the time travel.
Right. Okay. No, but then you can still get stabbed to death, though.
That's true. Well, I mean, wouldn't your skin just include knives as well, too, if you can handle a bullet?
No, because two different materials to stop. So if you apply that to real world, ballistic material to stop bullets is like a catching device. Knife plates is solid steel.
When I hear someone talk about a knife, I always think of that lady that had a baby from a knife.
What?
You don't remember that story?
You said she had a baby with a knife?
She had a baby from a knife. There was a guy. I'm going to type in stab, wound.
Oh, you know what?
Baby.
I do remember this story. No way that's true. They're real? No way.
Let's look at it.
That sounds like some she just had sex and didn't want it. She's like, I got stabbed to death.
February 3rd, 2010, a strange tale of oral sex. Hold on, let me narrate it in a good way. A knife fight in the most unlikely of pregnancies, recently brought to light by the blogosphere, has doctors touting the triumphant persistence of sperm. In 1988, a 15-year-old girl living in a small southern African nation of Lesotho came to a local doctor's with all the symptoms of a woman in labor. But the doctors were quickly puzzled because upon examination, she didn't have a vagina. Inspection of the vulva showed no vagina, only a shallow skin dimple. So doctors believed a healthy baby boy via cesarean. The authors wrote in a case report published in the British Journal of Obstetrics.
Hey, you don't have to read the whole fucking thing, dude.
Her
Just get
birth
to the
defect
fucking...
called malarianogenesis or Meyer-Muraticular-Kustever-Halsener syndrome didn't necessarily surprise doctors, but her pregnancy did. Even the 15-year-old girl could not believe she was pregnant. Yet by looking at her records in the hospital, staff realized the young woman in the hospital is 278 days earlier with a knife wound to her stomach. The average pregnancy.
Dude, that's a crazy. I read ahead because you're taking way too long. That's a crazy coincidence. That's a crit. So essentially, for everybody who's want to listen to this whole fucking story, she was blowing her new boyfriend. He came in her mouth. Then then she got into a knife fight with the boyfriend's ex. She got stabbed in the stomach because there's little stomach acid from the stab wounds that come seep through her stomach into her fucking.
It says the knife wound. Apparently, the semen was on the knife, and then it was punctured into her stomach, and then it just needs to be in the area of
drip down.
the vagina, and it goes towards the egg.
That's wild.
Well, I mean, it's not. I think it's believable because one dude on my show, he was blind in one eye for 40 fucking years, and then after we did a podcast, the next day his eyesight came back.
You healed him, bro.
I'm serious. There was an actual article about it.
How does that happen?
I have no clue. I'll just pull that up too.
You jerk off in his eye?
No.
Oh. Maybe your cum's healing properties.
I don't think so.
You don't know that.
You ever tried? I didn't come on him.
You don't know that.
I do know
you stab him with a knife?
No.
They had your cum on it?
But the interesting thing about this, it's not like he just got hit really hard in the head and his eyesight came back. He had mesh that was holding up his eye. So the mesh just completely evaporated. Like they don't know how to explain it. He was published in an article about it.
Why was mesh holding up his eye?
Well, if you look at because he got a firework blown into it when he was a kid.
Oh, that's what caused his blindness.
Yeah. So what happened was he was, if you look at his first episode, it's the Chris Pope episode. He was on my show and he was like, as he's like talking to me, he's looking at me like this, like looking down, trying to look up through his eye. And I didn't know what was going on. It was my first time meeting him, so I didn't want to say anything. And then afterwards, he goes, "You see, I was looking at you with my eye." He goes, "I've been blind out of that eye for 40 years, but when I was talking to you, I could suddenly start seeing light out of it." And then next thing I know, he sends me this article that he's in. I got to find the thing that he has. He's got a lot of shit. He got a lot of stuff he posts. He posts really good stuff about like Viking age stuff that he finds in these rivers that he goes and explores, and the museum won't look at it because they're afraid that the UK might have pagan roots, so they're not even going to invest into the project.
Yeah, everyone has pagan roots.
Yeah,
what the
fuck. But they don't want to acknowledge that they have those types of things. It's kind of like China trying to acknowledge that Taiwan exists. It doesn't happen. Let's see. I don't know where the article is. UK man gets sight after 40 years. I really feel bad for anybody listening to this fucking podcast. Like, Jesus Christ, this person is taking her.
Oh, shit. England had a fucking terrorist attack on Sunday.
Yeah, they're speaking about it today. Man, there's a lot of people that gained sight this past year.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it wouldn't be that hard to find of an article, but apparently it is now.
There's a lot of people. Here it is. So this is the guy that was on my show. And he was like, I was like, "Did you say that you got your sight healed on my podcast?" And he goes, "I did mention I was talking to a young gentleman." I was like, "But this is funny because it's not just him. I've had 4 guests. Something has happened. One person that got movement back into their left leg, like the lower part below their knee. Another person that had like this some type of nerve issue that was just healed, like not even a week later, like just randomly." And I was like,
I have a ton of injuries. I talk to you all the time, and you haven't helped me once. So you're a piece of shit. Am I fucking? I have neck pain, back pain, fucking shoulder pain, and I talk to you every day almost.
There he is.
God, it's crazy.
He got his sight back. A man who was blind in one eye by a firework as a child has miraculously regained his sight for the first time in 50 years. He said it was a bizarre moment when he woke up on Wednesday morning. He realized he could see. He was 11 years old when he thought he would never see out of that eye again after a horror accident in his backyard. And it's crazy because I was talking to him about it, and he goes, like, he had mesh and it just disappeared. And I'm like, is there a God? Probably not. Weird. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know shit.
It's going to be really weird when I'm time traveling on acid and trying to explain that to him.
Well, I'll have bulletproof skin, so I won't know.
It's like, what the fuck happened to you guys?
It's almost like the in a weird way. Ever hear of the game show door, like like conundrum or whatever the fuck you want to call it, or like paradox.
The game
Not
show
paradox.
paradox.
It's not a paradox. Okay, so in game shows with like 3 doors and like pick a door, right? And let's say you pick door A, and they open. No, I'm sorry. Let's say there's door A, B, and C. Okay, I'm the host. You're the contestant. So Robbie, there's $100,000 behind one of these doors. The other 2 there isn't. Pick door A, B, or C.
You're not Steve Harvey.
Good. Pick door A,
Where's
B, or
Steve?
He's dead.
I want Steve.
Pick door A, B, or C.
back.
Quick, before I pull the trigger to your family.
B. Option B.
Okay. So normally in game shows,
Show me the jet ski.
they'll open door A or C, right? To show like, oh, this is what was behind
And
door
they
A.
move to the fucking floor.
And then behind door A was like a goat. And you're like, all right, good job. So then they go, okay, now you pick door B. Now between door B and C, we're gonna give you the chance. Do you want to change doors? Now most people will go like, no, I'm gonna stick with door B. But but math says you should actually always change and switch your answer, and you'll probably win. Now I don't remember the exact reason why, but look it up. It's very, very interesting, like a whole mathematical thing.
Sounds like a propaganda from the show because too many people are winning jet skis and vacations to go see Oprah at her timeshare.
That'd be so funny if like the Price is Right, like fucking just put a whole fucking conspiracy out there.
I don't put it above them. I bet Disney's doing a lot of that shit. I lost respect recently for Steve Harvey because of what he said. He was like, "Get your fucking shot. Stop being fucking selfish." And I was like, dude, why are they weaponizing the people that we used to enjoy?
Dude, if you listen to every fucking entertainment person that you liked and like listen to their political stuff, you would stop watching TV and movies altogether. Like I have to just put that shit on my head a lot of times.
I just wish there would be like if I think at one point our cartoons are going to end up doing it. Our cartoons make fun of it a lot. Like Rick and Morty makes fun of the political shit. Like I don't have time for that shit. I just think there needs to be more independent people that just don't give a fuck about all this stuff. Because I feel like we already care too much about it, and now they're weaponizing our shows and stuff like that. You notice how they don't have any weight loss ads anymore? It's no diet trend type stuff because body shaming and all these types of things.
You're right.
And you start to be like, it's just very, very strange times that we're in where it's like everywhere you look is a fucking get this, get that ad, all this type of stuff. And I'm like, they're offering medical advice and they're telling you to do something. It's like that should be offensive for a lot of people.
Yes. But hey, so I'm not religious, right? Like I'm agnostic. I don't know what the fuck exists. I don't know what's out there. I don't know anything. But I don't believe in like a Christian Catholic God or Jewish God or anything. I don't, I just don't know. So that's important for my prerequisite for what I'm about to say. The political left in this country mocks religion and they mock the right. Like, fuck, you believe in a sky god, you fucking idiots. You fucking stupid. You believe in fucking, oh, you guys are so dumb. Their God is government, and they worship government, which is worse. Because to them, it's tangible. They could touch government. So they're like, oh, this is real. It's a religion to them. It's religion. They're just as fucking susceptible, but they'll never admit it, right? And that's the fucking ideological problem we're fighting a lot of the time. Is they get so offended because you're offending their God, right? Their God's Joe Biden. Their God is Anthony Fauci. Their God is the shot. Their God is fucking COVID.
Well, there's articles now being published, like I just read this morning. It was on CNN, so take that for what you want. I kind of take half their shit with a grain of salt, but they said that Kamala Harris is just one heartbeat away from being president.
Yeah, sure. That's true.
And it's just like, yeah, but do they want that? Like, they like the idea, the narrative, but I think next year,
She's a puppet, so yes, they do want that.
Well, next election, I think what they want is someone like Kamala Harris, but they also want someone that is like, who's that one governor that's gay? They want to get that guy in office as well too.
Pete, he's a mayor.
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, all these people are bad people though, and they're also
like,
bad
I'd get
politicians.
Michelle Obama in office. That'd be cool. I'd like to see Michelle Obama run shit, only because I think she'd be more productive to helping out people rather than worrying about all this other type of bullshit.
Why do you say that?
Because I think she tried that diet thing for a while.
Who gives a fuck?
Hey,
her husband murdered people with air robots.
Hey, he was a good speaker.
He was a good speaker. So was Hitler.
Hey, as long as you can smooth talk me into submission, that's fine.
As long as you get smooth talk on the
I'd
train
like
car,
an
you're okay with
independent
it.
to go up there. I'm surprised people don't have the idea of putting one up there, considering that the Republican and Democrats always fail. You think you would just give it a shot?
What do you
but
think we're trying to do with
nobody-
the Libertarian Party, guy?
It doesn't happen. Libertarians aren't shit.
No, we are. But that's because we have too many feds in our group.
We need more people that are high name people, like people that have a big pool to be able to convince a lot of people to do independent and just try it. And if it doesn't work, then fuck it.
I think a lot of it's
We'll see an
matter.
Antifa president before we see a independent.
Probably, which is sad.
We'll see a progressive president before we have an independent. We'll see a Satanist as our president before we see an independent, because it's always two sides, red or blue. You got to choose. I'm like, I don't like any of your games that you play, Steve Harvey.
Yeah, and it's funny because Chris Pratt, who's a Hollywood guy, he's like a conservative dude. I don't even like religious. I mean, I don't even like a Republican. I just mean like he's a conservative leaning guy, like with values and stuff. And people are like, look at this fucking right wing Nazi. It's like the guy loves his wife and family, and he's like, I like God. And they're like, fucking piece of shit, as you guys go fucking do pedo shit with each other. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, I'll take Chris Pratt out any day over any of these other scumbags. Like, it's fucking wild.
I do think it's weird that like people are talking about like the Rittenhouse thing. He's like, oh, he's being a false flag for our whatever, our rights to be taken away. I was like, I don't know about that, but I saw a lot of people making fun of the horrible situation about it on both sides of the fence, where I was like, this isn't really a joking matter. This is like, we need to figure out shit.
I truly believe our right to defend ourselves is on trial right now.
Well, I mean, it's about to start. I mean, today's the last day when we're recording this, so it's good. I was watching this before we chatted. I follow all 10 days of it basically. So I think it's just weird how we shot two people or three people.
And 2 dead. By the way, pedophile.
2 of those are pedophiles.
A pedophile and a serial wife, a domestic abuser.
Oh,
and the third guy was also the third guy who lived with the gun. Convicted felon. How does he have a gun, by the way?
Can we just look through Antifa?
I'm not even like a gun. I'm not even like a fucking. I don't believe in gun rights because I'm a libertarian. I believe in gun rights. I don't believe in gun laws because I'm a libertarian. So I'm just saying though, it's funny how like this poor kid's getting put on trial. Why didn't he get arrested then for his gun?
You shouldn't have guns. I don't want anybody. I'm not in support of guns, and I'm not against taking guns away. I don't want one. I like to shoot like clays maybe at like once out of like 23 years I've been alive, but I don't think I would buy and own one.
I believe everybody should. I
bring it back to the suicide thing. If I had a gun right now, I wouldn't be talking to you.
But that's okay. You, sadly, that's not me. Like, I can't own a gun because I have a weed card in Pennsylvania, so I'm not allowed to own one.
I'm kidding.
No, you were. That's why I didn't take it seriously.
I just think it gives it a more valuable option. Like I brought to you before, my buddy, his dad bought a gun, and then not even a week later, he shot himself.
I understand that, but that's not a reason to not have guns. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying take it away from everybody. I just think there's certain people like myself that shouldn't own one.
Yes, people shouldn't do a lot.
I would always be nervous. Like, oh my God, like imagine you could just accidentally hurt yourself, and then you got to clean it. And then when I'm cleaning it, I'm like, fuck, this is when it's going to happen.
Dude, I've owned a gun for a long time before I got the weed card. Okay. It's really not a big deal. I mean, as in like as long as you know how to properly take care of it, like never point at anybody, always make sure it's empty 1,000 fucking times, clear the rack 100 times.
I don't trust that though, because I get placed in weird simulational scenarios in life where like I'll be walking down the street to go get some ice cream from like a store when I was 17, and I saw like people dealing coke in the middle of the street, and I was like, I shouldn't be seeing this. I don't think they ever expect anybody to walk down this street, but I get placed in weird scenarios, and I had to sit in a CVS for 45 minutes because they followed me. And I was like, I don't know how to explain to a cop that I wanted to get Ben and Jerry's, and I had to wait because a couple of people are doing a coke deal that I saw and I shouldn't have seen. I always get placed in those weird scenarios. So my luck, I'm cleaning the gun, even though I know there's no bullets in there. There's magically a bullet that just teleports there. And I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
Nah, dude, it's guns are good, man.
It's like if I threw a gun and it just landed on the ground, the bullet would fire off in one direction and would fly, like bounce off a wall, and then fucking clock me in the head.
That's a real magic bullet theory.
I'm a superhero. What do you think? Do you think you're going to get the JFK stuff? They said no to it again. Nah, damn it. I think they personally made Reagan go crazy, whether it was drugging him to make his mind so they get these things, or they falsified all these stories that they say that the president was going crazy, because I believe he said some real shit about aliens and stuff. And then
Oh, you know, I think
they pulled him aside.
I think he did have Alzheimer's and he was speaking truth. And they're like, gotta go. That's what probably happened.
I think they'd be like, oh fuck, we just put that man up on, so we got to make sure that all these tests come out, because there's like stories about him like sticking his after he was president, he came back from the office one night, like that whatever job he was working at, and his wife was like, he just came home with his hands soaking wet, holding a White House that was like in a fish tank, and I'm like, I hear these stories, and I'm like, I think like this is like created shit.
It could be
just because that they know, like he said some real shit and they were afraid that like, oh, we got to make him sound super crazy. But it's like, I wonder what they're going to say about Biden in the future. But it's like, Biden never farted on people.
Remember, don't forget, they never wanted him to be president. They just wanted Trump out. So like they just ushered him in. Their whole thing is to get Kamala Harris in there for so many reasons. One, she's a puppet. Two,
that cackle is crazy.
It's wild. She's like a hyena. I mean, like the second thing is like requirements and like stuff doesn't matter anymore.
I want 2 Egyptian boys to fan me off every time I make an announcement.
You'd be a good pharaoh. Have 2 leaf blowers on a retainer.
That was my Kamala impression.
Oh, it sounded like an emperor of something.
Every time I cackle, I want a lingerie of grapes.
She blew her way to the top. Don't forget that.
She did? Well, she used to be against the person now that she supports and is their vice president.
Yeah, no, she's a piece of shit. She's one of the worst people on the planet.
I think there's a lot of people that's been. I couldn't name you a good president, to be honest with you.
Calvin Coolidge.
I don't remember him.
Exactly.
It's been a while, huh?
Well, he was like the 20s.
Jesus Christ. How do you remember that?
Silent Cal was his nickname because you barely would even like do like press conferences or anything. Like you would never talk to the press really.
When did we expect our president to make announcements all the fucking time?
This is the truth. This country was set up where the president shouldn't really matter much, but unfortunately that's not how it is, right? So he barely he didn't like do anything. Calvin Coolidge. That's why he was such a good president. Woodrow Wilson was the worst.
I miss Psaki.
Who?
Psaki.
Which one was Psaki?
The redhead.
Oh, Psaki,
yeah.
I thought you said president. Like what president?
No, I miss Psaki. She's got the COVID.
Yeah, I miss the hot one from Trump.
I bet she's just dirty. I bet she's like she probably fucks with the American flag in the background.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. She is scary though.
Haley McKinney, dude, she's so hot. Yeah.
I don't know. We're wrapping up the show.
Okay.
You fucking threw me off with your Bronco conversation.
Sorry, it was so important. A year.
Okay. All right.
A year.
I'm happy for you.
You don't understand. Okay. You don't understand also the car I have now is the last bit of memory from like my old shitty life that I have to see every day and drive every day.
So you're going to be in pain?
No, that's my point. Is I waited for I waited. I could have got a new car before, but the Bronco became available. Like they announced it, and I was like, oh, I had to put my name in. I had to put like my name and money down just to get on the waiting list because it was so popular. Just the announcement.
Did you get the same Bronco OJ drives?
Dude, listen to me. If I could have got it in white, I would have. Okay, they didn't have white in my option. I don't think they have white at all, and I think that was on purpose.
Yeah, they don't sell that type of car anymore.
No. They don't sell the exact old one, the new Bronco, but they don't make any of them in white, I don't think, because of that.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That sucks.
Yeah,
because I would have got it. I even asked, I was like, can I get this in white? The guy was like, no. I was like, fuck.
No. You don't make it in that color for one specific reason.
Fuck, I'm so mad. But so literally every day I drive my car. It's a piece of shit 2014 Ford Escape. And I fucking hate it because it just reminds me of all my bad memories in my past fucking old life. So I fucking hate it. And it reminds me of all my fucking failures and my non-accomplishments. So every day I drive around, it's like, I don't take care of it. It's dirty. It's beat to shit. Like, fuck it. I hate it. So this is like literally like I'm finally shedding the last piece of like negativity off me. Finally. It's like more than just a car. It's like a symbol for me. So that's why it was very important. So sorry.
Well, now it makes sense, and you don't have to apologize. I understand.
Yeah, it wasn't just not just a new car. It was like it's like a whole thing.
Do you want to promote your dates in 2025?
Yeah, I'll be killing myself by 2025.
It'll be a new world order in 2025.
No, just go watch the Porcupine for libertarian political stuff. Go watch Cult of Us for comedy stuff. It's available everywhere. YouTube.com/Cult of Us. YouTube.com/Adam Nutter for the Porcupine. At Adam Nutter on Twitter and Instagram for all my show dates. Follow me. I'm funny on that. I'm also political on that. And come on out.